You gotta turn it on first.
Welcome, friends, family, administration, teachers, and community to the 2014 Coffeehouse Expo. My name is Stuart Nicholas, but everyone calls me Stu Pie. Why? I don't really know. Tonight you will witness the power of persuasion through poetry and prose, the dynamics of duo, the sweetness of storytelling, and the omniscience of oratory. Feel free to enjoy at any time our concessions of coffee, tea, water, and baked goods while the showcase is going on. But we do ask that you try to remain quiet during a live performance for the best audio experience.
Forensics is a competitive speech and drama organization that travels around the state of Kentucky competing against other high school and middle school teams in the area to help foster communication skills. These skills work to improve students' confidence in public speaking, self-worth, and foster eloquence in speaking. Students learn to become advocates for themselves and others to make a positive force for change. According to the National Forensics League, an honors program in which we participated, forensics gives students a significant edge in college admissions, helps to bolster underperforming students in urban schools through their participation in competitions, and provides real cognitive and behavioral outcomes in areas such as reading, listening, speaking, and writing skills. Improv critical thinking, fostering intellectual curiosity, and increased motivation and engagement in classroom and/or community situations.
We hope you enjoy the performances this evening and are impressed with the skill set we possess. Yeah, we're mocks too. We will start with the Woodland Middle School division in the first half, then the Scott High School portion after a brief intermission. Now, on with the show. Our first performer is Joel Parece, an 8th grader in his second year with forensics. Joel won first place at the Parece invitational in November, regional runner-up of the year in North Kentucky KESDA tournament, and placed 3rd in the state at KESDA tournament. Joel also performed in solo acting, playing out the role of Death in The Book Thief. Joel's poetry piece inspires to look at bullying from an adult reflection as a bullied child.
It's kind of short there. That's the best I'm going to get it. Okay.
I want to turn it on.
I don't need to, JP. You know that.
It's upside down.
Okay. When I was a kid, I used to think that pork chops and karate chops were the same thing. I thought that they were both pork chops. And because my grandmother thought it was cute, and because they were my favorite, she let me keep doing it. Not really a big deal. One day, before I realized that fat kids are not designed to climb trees, I fell out of a tree and bruised the right side of my body. I didn't want to tell my grandmother about it because I was afraid I would get in trouble for playing somewhere that I shouldn't have been. A few days later, the gym teacher noticed the bruise and I was sent to the principal's office. From there, I was sent to another small room with a really nice lady who asked me all kinds of questions about life at home. I saw no reason to lie. As far as I was concerned, life at home was pretty good. I told her, whenever I'm sad, my grandmother gives me karate chops. This led to a full-scale investigation, and I was moved from the house for 3 days until they finally decided to ask how I had gotten the bruises. News of this silly little story quickly spread through the school, and I earned my first nickname, Pork Chop. To this day, I hate pork chops. Shane Corson once wrote, "My experiences of violence in school still echo throughout my life today, but standing to face the problem has helped me in immeasurable ways." I wrote to this day, a spoken word poem, to further explore the profound and lasting impact bullying can have upon an individual. Schools and families are in desperate need of means to stop this problem. We can give them a starting point, a message that will have a far-reaching and long-lasting effect in confronting bullying. To this day, by Shane Corson. I'm not the only kid who grew up this way. Surrounded by people who used to say that rhyme about sticks and stones. As if broken bones hurt more than the names we got called, and we got called them all. So we grew up believing that no one would ever fall in love with us. That we'd be lonely forever. That we would never meet someone to make us feel like the sun was something that they had built for us in their tool shed. So broken heartstrings bled the blues as we tried to empty ourselves so we would feel nothing. Don't tell me that hurts less than a broken poem. That an ingrown life is something surgeons can cut away. That there's no way for it to metastasize. It does. She was 8 years old, our first day of grade 3, and she got called ugly. We both got moved to the back of the class so we would stop getting bombarded by spitballs, but the school halls were a battleground where we found ourselves outnumbered day after wretched day. We used to stay inside for recess because outside was worse. Outside, we'd have to rehearse running away. Learn to stand still like statues, giving no clues that we were there. In grade 5, they taped a sign to her desk that read, "Beware of dog." To this day, despite a loving husband, she doesn't think she's beautiful because of a birthmark that takes up a little less than half of her face. Kids used to say she looks like a wrong answer that someone tried to erase but couldn't quite get the job done. And they will never understand that she's raising 2 kids whose definition of beauty begins with the word mom. Because they see her heart before they see her skin, that she's only ever always been amazing. He was a broken branch grafted onto a different family tree, adopted. But not because his parents opted for a different destiny. He was 3 when he became a mixture of 1 part left alone and 2 parts tragedy. Started therapy in 8th grade. Had a personality made up of tests and pills, lived like the uphills were mountains and the downhills were cliffs. 4/5 suicidal, a tidal wave of antidepressants, and an adolescence of being called pop. 1 part because of the pills, 99 parts because of the cruelty. He tried to kill himself in grade 10, when a kid who still had his mom and dad had the audacity to tell him, "Get over it." As if depression is something that can be remedied by any of the contents found in a first aid kit. To this day, he is a stick of TNT lit from both ends. Could describe to you in detail the way the sky bends and the moments before it's about to fall. And despite an army of friends who all call him an inspiration, he remains a conversation piece between people who cannot understand. Sometimes becoming drug-free has less to do with addiction and more to do with sanity. We weren't the only kids who grew up this way. To this day, kids are still being called names. The classics were, "Hey, stupid!" "Hey, spaz!" It seems like each school has an arsenal of names getting updated every year. And if a kid breaks in school and no one around chooses to hear, do they make a sound? Or are they just the background noise of a soundtrack stuck on repeat when people say things like, "Kids can be cruel"? Every school was a big top circus tent, and the pecking order went from acrobats to lion tamers, from clowns to carnies. All of these were miles ahead of who we were. We were freaks. Lobster claw boys and bearded ladies. Oddities juggling depression and loneliness, playing solitaire spin the bottle, trying to kiss the wounded parts of ourselves and heal. But at night, while the others slept, we kept walking the tightrope. It was practice, and yes, mothers fell. But I want to tell them that all of this is crap. It's just debris left over when we finally decide to smash all the things we thought we used to be. And if you can't see anything beautiful about yourself, Get a better mirror. Look a little closer, stare a little longer, because there is something inside you that made you keep trying despite everyone who told you to quit. You built a cast around your broken heart. You signed it yourself. You signed it. They were wrong. Because maybe you didn't belong to a group or a clique. Maybe they decided to pick you last for basketball or everything. Maybe you used to bring bruises and broken teeth to show and tell, but never told. Because how can you hold your ground if everyone around you wants to bury you beneath it? You have to believe that they were wrong. They have to be wrong. Why else would we still be here? We grew up learning to cheer on the underdog because we see ourselves in them. We stem from the roots planted in the belief that we are not what we are called. We're not abandoned cars stalled sitting empty on a highway. And if in some way we are, don't worry. We just got out to walk and get gas. We are graduating members from the class of Screw Off, we made it! Not the faded echoes of voices crying out names will never hurt me. Of course they did. But our lives will only ever always continue to be a balancing act that has less to do with pain and more to do with beauty.